Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I will be making a pair of teardrop style earrings, and as you can see I have several pairs here that I have made previously. You can use any style of bead. You're basically limited by your imagination. For this style, what you'll need is one kind of larger focal bead. That would be the bead at the bottom. And then smaller beads that are more kind of accent type beads. And generally they're gonna, obviously they're gonna match or kind of accent your focal bead. So for these, I have just smaller versions of the exact same style of bead that's at the bottom. And then for these 4 pairs, I used seed beads to go with the focal bead. So today I will be using earring hooks. My focal bead is this kind of multicolored gray, black, and white bead. And then I have small, just solid black beads. And then I have 4 of the bead caps. And then I have 2 head pins. These are the ball end head pins. The other most common style of head pin would be the flathead head pin. And I use both all the time. But for the one that I'm making today, I'm going to use this style right here with the ball on the end. I will also be using wire cutters and round nose pliers. All right, so here we go. To start, you're going to take your head pin and then one of your bead caps, and you'll put it on your head pin, open side up, like that. And then your focal bead or your largest bead goes at the bottom. And then the second bead cap will go on there, and this time open side down. So it kind of closes it in. And I think the extra metal on it kind of adds a flare. I like that. I like the shine on it. But of course, as you can see, you certainly don't have to have, bead caps on it at all. You can have bead spacers. You can have just the bead cap on top. It's entirely up to you. But I am going to use for this one bead cap on top and bottom. Then I take my teeny tiny beads. They go on the top. And there you go. Now the way I make my loops, I take my round nose pliers, and it's about 1/4 of an inch above the tallest bead, and then I bend it back a little bit above 90 degrees. 90 degrees, of course, would be a perfect L, but this is just a little bit above that. And then I do tend to eyeball this because I have been doing this for a while, but you can see, right here, my head pins on my bead board are 2 inches long, okay? So with my beads that are on here, I am going to cut a little bit less than halfway, and I will cover it with my hands before I make that cut. And I will explain why. Common mistake that jewelry makers make would be to just kind of cut that with wire cutters out in the open. And these little metal pieces tend to go flying. And you only need to be hit in the eye one time before you realize that it's not fun, and you don't want that to happen again. So because of that, when I go to cut, I use my other hand and I cover it. Much rather have it hit my hand than hit my eye again. So now, here's how I do this. So I've got it bent, I cut off the excess. I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna hold my round nose pliers in my right hand. And instead of holding it like this, I'm going to flip my wrist, and yes, I'm holding it this way on purpose. And I'm gonna take it at the end as close as I can get, and I'm going to flip it all the way back. Then once I do that, I do readjust just a little bit, and bring it back around. So you have your loop at the top. So once you have that loop, you take your earring hook, and at the bottom of it opens a little bit. Well, it opens as far as you want it to go. I just open it a little bit. Then you place the earring you just made on there, and you close it back up. And there you go. You have your first earring in the set. So you set that down. I'll set it right there. And then I will go through this second one. Oh, I didn't mean to move that. Sorry about that. I'll go through the second one a little bit quicker. All right, here we go. So the bead caps go at the bottom. The bead cap, one of them, open end up. Then you have the focal bead. And then you have the other bead cap, open end down this time, closing it in. Then you have your tiny beads at the top. There you go. Then, once you have that, take your round nose pliers, about a 1/4 inch from the top bead, bend it back, a little more than 90 degrees. And like I said, you cut off the excess. I'm gonna go a little bit less than halfway, right about there. And I'm going to cover it so that I don't get hit in the eye. All right, so now I have it bent and cut off the excess. So I take my round nose pliers, and again, right-handed, I don't grab it like this. I flip it all the way around, and I take it at the end. And from here is when I flip it back. And that is how I make my loop at the top. Alrighty. Then, and if it's leaning a little bit more than you like, which it does sometimes, you can kind of make it go back. There you go. Then it'll face straight up like that. So then you take your earring hook, open the bottom just a smidge, put it on there, and then you close it back. Just like that. And there you have it. Your brand new pair of teardrop style earrings. Again, it might be, maybe a little tough the first or second time you make it, the first couple of times, until you get used to it. And once you get used to it, it feels, you know, super simple to make and, you know, very, very pretty. Very easy to either dress up or dress casual in this style of earring. I get comments on it all the time on the different earrings that I make in this style. So there you have it. If you like this type of video, please like and subscribe. Leave comments down below. And if you have any questions for me, yes, definitely put them in the comments. If you like, you know, if you would like for me to film more tutorials for the different types of jewelry that I make. All right, thank you.